Well, good morning. Good morning. How are you, Jason?
Pretty good.
Good to
How
see
are
you,
you?
man. It's good to see you. So, I thought I'd come live on the beach today. What do you think?
That's nice. Hope you don't get any seagull problems.
Hey, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Hey, everybody, it's Danny Cobbin. That's Jason over there. I'm gonna take down that 1-1 coaching here in a second, but I just want you guys to know that you are in the right place. We are live. We will be talking about friendship today, doing something a little bit different. So all these different technical aspects, like my eyes looking down, I'm looking at Jason when you see that. Those things are getting cleared up for you. But more importantly, we're going to talk about friendship. Jason, tell me a little bit about what you got going on today, since it's our first YouTube/Facebook live together. Oh, hold on. You muted. I think you're muted.
Okay, I'm back.
There you
Yeah, AirPods acting all crazy. So swinging, rolling with the punches. What do I have going on today? Workout with my brother. That's good for friendship. Got another course I'm doing on finding comfort in the uncomfortable. We're meeting up tonight. And other than that, just normal work stuff. What about you?
Man, today I didn't realize this, but I'm back into that busy schedule of I've got a super coach call, or not a super coach call. I have a advanced track call. So like, or the advanced course, it's a little different. This one is the one about three principles and a deeper understanding of 3P. I have a coaching call with Georgia today, which is really just hopefully us catching up, getting to talk to each other again. Then I have an inner circle call. And I think I have a coaching call with Sandra today. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I do. So a lot of coaching today, and talking to you about friendship today. So pretty much that's it, man. I'm just rolling through with the punches today. Got to wake my daughter up a little earlier than what she would like. I don't know if you caught our Instagram, or no, it was a YouTube live that we did. It was not on my channel live because I messed up. Oh well. But it was on her channel live, and we got a chance to answer a lot of teen questions about co-parenting. So just the things really going on in my life, or the co-parenting course that I have coming up, and our course that we have coming up, which is the friendship course, relationship course, whatever it is in that umbrella. We're going to talk about it today.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the Instagram that you did with your daughter. That was super cool. I really like that one. That was only like a minute long, the one I watched anyway.
Oh, the promo video. Yes, we came out with another video yesterday that I wasn't able to put live on my Facebook or my Instagram. But it is now on my YouTube, which I'll link later on for everybody. That way you could check it out. But we just sit there and we talk for about 40 minutes about what it's been like, not only now, but that hard time before, the challenging times that led to this space that we've created now. And I know you and I, Jason, have talked a lot about just that. Like, is there day without night? Is there up without down? And it's really interesting to talk to a 15-year-old, almost 16. She makes sure I always say that, about things like that. And so it's really fun to just chit chat with her and get a chance to talk.
Yeah. Well, maybe my daughter and your daughter can do a live. I don't know if my daughter will be down. She's getting ready to turn 12 tomorrow.
Nice. Happy birthday if she sees this tomorrow.
Yeah, and I've been calling her 12 ever since she turned 11. She's like, "Damn."
Hey, Georgia. Hey, Alicia. It's good to see you guys. Welcome into the chat. If y'all have any questions about relationships, friendships, any type of relationship, just let us know. Pop in the comments. I got the comments on Facebook here, and I believe I get to see the YouTube comments as well. So, yeah. So when you think friendship, Jason, like, what do you think about, man?
When I think of friendship, I think of showing up. You know, this morning you're like, hey, you want to go live in 30 minutes? I don't know when that text came in because I took my phone off airplane mode and there was the text. So I was like, well, just woke up. What time you want to do it? And then I had to rush, get my stuff set up because we had some family in town. But I was like, let's do it. Just showing up and being there as a friend.
Man, that's 100% it, right? Showing up. I realized I had a lot of friends that I didn't realize I had. And that's just because when I started showing up to the conversation, they were like, oh, this is pretty cool. Thank you for actually participating for once. So
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
interesting that you talk about showing up because that's what you did this morning, right? 100%. Hey, do you want to do this? Okay.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
And here we are, right? Talking about friendship, talking about what it takes to be friends. Question for you, number two. Oh, you
Well, let
got
me
something.
let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said they're like, "Hey, thanks for participating," right? Or like finally jumping in. What is that? What is that all about? What do you see about that?
So what I see about that is looking over the course of my life, I have literally thought that I don't have friends. I don't have people that like really respect what I'm saying. Da 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 da. I could go on and on and on. And my very first coaching call that I got mentored, the first thing she commented on was like, this guy has a lot of respect for you. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you could tell he's busy and he doesn't have time to have this conversation with you. And he respected you enough to have the conversation. I was like, huh, that's really interesting. And then to be talking to you and just like over the course of the last few months, FYI, I met this guy in January one time over a course of a week. And we've been talking about, I mean, things that go from, what is it like to be a better husband, a better father, a better friend, to things like, what are we here for? What's the point of the universe?
Mm. Mm.
So that's a little bit about how that happened.
Well, what I heard was you participating, right? So like, I think a lot of people. This was me for a long time, and it didn't even occur to me to go the other way with it. Where it's like, what's wrong with these parents? They don't come up. They don't say hi. And at some point, it was like, oh, that's on me. It is me. Why don't I go say hi? These people are also probably waiting for somebody to say hi. And also stalking somebody, right? Like in a way, not in some creepy way, but like, hey, you met, the next 2 days or whatever. Like, hey, cool meeting you. It was hilarious that you said such and such, right? And then a couple of days later, and it seems like when at least for me, when I look back at my friendships and stuff, it just seemed like it was that, not letting it die, right? It's like the balloon, right? You've got to play keep it up, so you got to keep smacking it, at least in the beginning until it's off and running on its own.
Man, my daughter loves Fruit Ninja right now. And I don't know if you've ever played that game, but there's different levels when you play on the arcade mode or whatever. And the first level is exactly that, right? You have to slice so many fruit, and if they drop down, then you lose points for everyone that drops down. There becomes a level that, or a knife, I don't remember which one it is, that doesn't allow things to fall below. Like there's a second bounce. So like if you miss it the first
Mm.
time, it'll bounce back up. And that for some reason really reminds me of what you're talking about with like that bounce back. I'd never put that together, but if you play Fruit Ninja, it's like that.
If you play Fruit Ninja, you can be a good friend. Is the bottom line.
I love that. I love that. A lot of times we think that we can't be good friends because we're missing something. Like, oh, I don't do this well or I don't do that well. And what have you seen about that in regards to friendship? The things that you don't have.
I think if we don't have those things, right? Like, and I always go back to I'm bad at math, right? People who say that maybe they got the failed test score, and the parents were like, "Well, I guess you're just not good at math." Well, why would they ever try harder? Because they're just not somebody who's good at math. So if you're somebody who's shy, or you're somebody who says stupid things, or if you already believe these things about yourself, then like, nobody wants to talk to me. If that's true, you're not going to go talk to somebody. Seeing that it's not true, it just opens up the gate.
It opens like it opens up the gate, Jason. Like this is what I love talking to you about, and that's the cool thing about friendship is you could be talking about whatever and then like get these insights and opening up the gate. What I struggled with for a long time with, like I was saying just a second ago, finding friends was realizing that I had all these friends. I just didn't keep the balloon floating, and then I wasn't opening that gate. I love I love how you're using these metaphors today, man. You're coming in with some thunder, some fire.
Well, that's the cool thing about like talking with friends. I mean, even my wife and I were trying to get the pool. The pool was too high, and we're like, "What are we gonna do?" You know, there's a little spout at the bottom. You can hook up a hose and start draining it, but the hose hookup is so low, it's tilted into the ground. Well, I mean, how are you gonna get a hose on it? You know. So I was like, "Well, I could siphon it, throw the hose in there," but I'm like, I'm not gonna be like try to get the on, you know. And then we were talking about hooking a different hose, and we were just brainstorming ideas. And she's like, "Oh, well, the pump is shooting water out." I was like, "Oh yeah." So I put the hose on that. But it was cool for us both to see like, and we almost played with the idea like thousands of years ago. They're like, people need to be married because they're just too stupid on their own. But when they get together and talk about stuff, new stuff shows up, you know?
Oh man, that's really cool that you got the chance to see that with your wife and talk about that because I'm noticing kind of sort of that same thing. When I started letting down some of these walls in regards to one thing, they showed up in another, right? So relationship wise, you and I talk about those often because that's really what life is, right? To me, it's that connection between people. And that's what we're calling a relationship. And between me and my wife, that started to show up. Like when I stopped saying, you need to listen to my wisdom, you need to listen to what I got going on. That's when things changed. Things started to loosen up. She was able to see her own wisdom, her own genius. And instead of there just being one person in this relationship and one person doing whatever that is, now there's two people communicating and connecting and firing on all cylinders, which is kind of really cool. And I just want to throw out there, I'm over exaggerating the story. So don't send me messages saying, how could you treat Courtney that way?
Yeah. You're just using that as an example. I'm sure it's
Exactly.
all roses and rainbows and unicorns all the time. Yeah. Well, so that's kind of cool too. Like when we can see about ourselves, that stuff's like, oh, I just believe that about myself, right? In the same way, when we're in any relationship, like, oh, this guy, he's kind of annoying. Like I just believe these things, and they're not necessarily true. So I guess especially with spouses, you might already have a preconceived notion that your spouse is this way, then you treat them that way, but you never questioned it, you know?
100, yeah, never questioned it. What is that? There's a quote that you always talk about with unquestioned thought. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, maybe Byron Katie. The worst that can ever happen is an unquestioned thought.
Yeah, what you just said really threw me into that space of thinking about unquestioned thought altogether on a large scale, like not just with relationships, but as we go through life with our children, which is a type of relationship,
Mm.
with our employer, with our subordinates or whatever that is. All those are different types of relationship. When we start to see different things like this fall, and what I mean is our thoughts about these things. Hey, what does it mean that my son won't stop hitting my daughter? Does that mean that he hates her? Maybe, but probably not. I don't think that's helpful. Is that a little bit about what you mean by unquestioned thought?
Yeah, yeah. It's like we don't even look at the assumption behind what we're acting on. Like, oh, I'm so mad at this person, and I yelled at him. But that's because I have an unquestioned thought that says people shouldn't talk to me this way, right? So I have to respond this way because you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't talk to me that way. You know, that's not true either. You know.
No, 100%. A wise man once told me that if I wanted to be enlightened, I could hang out with my family and not get upset. Something like that. I don't know.
Mm.
God told me that, and I know somebody that had this weekend seemed to have thrived. A friend of mine was talking about, hey, I they didn't say, hey, I thrived this weekend with my family here, but they were indicating to me that they did. And it's really cool to see that this works with your family, whether it's highbrow, lowbrow, it works with all these other facets of life. Whenever we just notice what's going on with our thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to hear more about the highbrow, lowbrow thing. What's that all about? It's like,
Yeah, man. I was watching a movie with The Rock this weekend, Race to Witch Mountain. He was still doing the eyebrow a little bit more. So
is
I'm
that
thinking, huh?
is well, I thought highbrow was like hoity-toity, you know, upper class. That's highbrow. But then I was making a joke about the eyebrows. But which one are you saying? The eyebrows, is it?
I was just going with the eyebrow thing because I was watching The Rock this weekend. I don't know where the highbrow, lowbrow thing came from.
I
It
like it.
just came into my mind, and the next thing you know, we're talking about The Rock movie, and I'm like, oh, The Rock in 2008, 2009 was not nearly as jacked as he is right now.
Really?
I don't know why that's in my mind right now, but yeah, I saw a video of The Rock, and he's just like, "Ugh." And
Beast.
then in that movie, he's just like, he looks like a little bit like Vin Diesel.
Wow. I'm gonna have to check that out again.
Yeah, man.
See
Nothing
what
to do with
it
friendship, but that's okay.
has to do with friendship. That's the cool thing. Everything has to do with friendship, right? Like,
Oh,
oh, your friend shows up talking about something stupid. You're like, I don't give a shit about this. Oh, I'm friends. I guess I do care. You know, it's important to him. I care now.
yeah. You know, that's another thing, right? I used to be like, that's not my deal. I'm not gonna get down with that. But when somebody enjoys an activity, like for instance, I enjoy doing these live videos. You jump on here, I'm sure you enjoy doing videos as well. But that's just not, I don't know that that's you're like, oh, that's my steez. I love that. But you jump on with me and I enjoy it so much. You're like, it's a good time. So I've found that that works with other people too, right? Like
Yeah.
they enjoy whatever activity is they're doing so much that it makes it fun.
Hmm.
Why not give it a shot?
So I wonder if anything could be fun if we don't get in the way of that. Like George Pransky says, the moment, the moment is wall to wall fun. And it's like, well, if I'm picking up dog poop, that doesn't sound so fun, you know. But if you get out of the way, if you don't tell yourself a sad story, right? If you don't have unquestioned thinking about it, well, it can be fun.
Mm, picking up dog poo is fun. Maybe that should be the title of this one.
Yeah, we'll probably get 100,000 signups.
Hey, honestly though, it is right. What I mean is, I'm thinking about picking up dog poo in the backyard because I got kids. They run around. I literally don't like having to say, yeah. So I pick it up. But yeah, whenever I'm like listening to something and I'm just like in my own zone, like I'm the dog picking up the dog poop is just as much a part of me as listening to whatever this is that I'm listening to. And it's just like I'm flowing through it and it doesn't matter. If that makes I don't know if that makes any sense, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could make it shitty is the story that we're telling ourselves. Like, oh, this isn't my job, and now here I am picking it up. I didn't even want a dog. You know, I have other things that I need to be doing. Or I just pick up the poop. Oh, so I don't know. I don't even know the quote, but it's something like, and I don't even know if it's Zen, but like before Zen, you clean the house and do the dishes. After Zen, oh, it's like you fetch the water and do the dishes. After Zen, you fetch the water and do the dishes, right? But the difference is that is the one thing that you're doing. You're not touching the water and over here, and I had a work thing to do, and this sucks, and this,
Yes, yes. Showing up in the moment is what there's so many different ways to say the same thing that it blows my mind each time I hear it a different way. Like wall to wall fun in the now, like washing the dishes and not thinking about all these things that I have to do and just washing the dishes creates a different environment and space. And I've noticed that with the twins. When I'm just present with the twins, like it doesn't matter what we're doing, good time. And when I'm not present with the twins, it doesn't matter what we're doing, they're bugging the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that. And like, does that mean that I'm never in that space of I got all this other stuff to do and the twins are annoying me? No, that's not what that means. What ends up happening is I notice, oh man, if I feel this way right now, that means that I'm probably in the wrong space. Hey, can I get a tag out? Can I get some help real quick so that I can take 5, 10, 15 minutes so that I can get myself in a better space so that I can enjoy what I'm doing versus whatever is in the back of my head.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. But I did notice that even a while ago, right? It's like, why am I rushing my daughter? Why am I short with my daughter? It's like, oh, because I'm not here with her. I'm off with this thing that seems so interesting, and then she's pulling me away from it with some school story. It's like, oh my god, But like when I can leave the work stuff for later, right? If I can just be present with her, the work stuff doesn't even exist, and then nothing exists but her. I mean, it sounds really like unless you've experienced that, it sounds weird
Yeah.
to say it doesn't exist, but just being in that space, that's all that exists. It can be fun.
It sounds weird, Jason, but at the same time, what's very cool is if you guys just open up to the possibility that it's possible, just the possibility that
Hmm.
that I can be doing something that I don't necessarily enjoy and enjoy it is the opportunity to see something different.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I would ask you guys is that if this is something you guys are like, they're talking about a lot of stuff in a lot of weird ways, I would really like to get a better understanding. I would really like to to see what's out there, the possibilities. Like, what do you mean? My kids annoying me is in my head, not actually what they're doing. Jason's a coach, graduated Super Coach Academy, transformational coach. I am the same. We know plenty of people out there. We know people in Europe and Asia. We know people everywhere. So if you have questions or you have anything that you wonder about, you can hit either one of us up and just ask. We'll open up the dialogue, and we're here for that. Is there anything you'd like to leave them with, Jason?
Well, just adding on to what you said, right? Whether we have certificates or we did this course or that course, right? Like that's cool. That's what made us aware of what we know now. But the biggest thing is that we've taken our lives just from talking to you. I think I can speak for you here. Is we've taken our lives from the dumps of picking up dog crap to just enjoying stuff, having fun. Like people say something so stupid and you don't get offended, and it's just funny. It's just you're just there. I mean, level of enjoyment in life, maybe a scale of 1 to 100 used to be about for me a 40, and now I mean, geez, it seems like it's like at this time anyway a 90. I don't know about
Yeah.
you.
Oh man, we went from I thought my enjoyment of life was a 10. Like I could have sworn to you like 6, 8 months ago, I'm enjoying my life. And what I'm seeing now is that it was closer to a 6, a 5, a 6, and now it's closer to an 8, a 9, a 10.
Hmm.
And the reason why I'm making that distinction is because this conversation is amazing for everybody. Like if you got things going well and you want to do more, like, hey, let's take a look together. If you're like, man, I'm struggling and I would like to see more, let's get together. And that's really cool that whenever our life is at a 7, 8, actually, let's go with an 8, 9, or 10. When our life is at an 8, 9, or a 10, it's almost like we can dance through life. But when it's anything lower than that, it's almost like pushing and struggling through molasses.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I just
Well,
want you guys to go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought you were finished. Sorry, that's
Yeah,
not
I am.
friendship, you know. A friend,
No, go ahead. Finish. No, I was finished.
good friendships are based on interruption. That's what I learned as a kid. Didn't really work. So, but what I'm thinking too is like the 4 minute mile, right? Everybody always knew the fastest you could run was whatever the previous record was. Let's say it's 4 minutes 30 seconds. That's just the fastest you can go, right? So, like you said, you thought you were way up there. This is life, man. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Still got problems, still had an argument with a lady in the grocery store. Like, that's just life. That's how it works. Until you can see that, oh, you can run a 4 minute mile. You can do a 2 hour marathon. Like, oh, it's possible, right? I mean, then if you can see, like, I don't know, it's just crazy.
It's so much more to see. So much more to see. And that's what this is all about. We will be coming, well, I will be coming to you live every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m., between 5 and 30 minutes at a time. So you guys can join me every morning. And that'll be both be on YouTube and on Facebook. Jason's going to join me several times this week. Just talking about friendship, just talking about what shows up whenever we sit down with things off of our mind. I will leave in the comments below or wherever they are. I don't know. I'm working on this YouTube thing, buddies. But it's a good time. Thank you, Jason, for showing up. Thank you for doing the friendly thing and waking up, dusting the crusties off and jumping on.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Y'all guys have a great day. Anything you want to leave them with, Jason?
Yeah. Go have fun. Question everything. Why do I think
Question
that's true? See you guys later.